What is up? Welcome back to episode 2 of Let's Talk MLB The Show. Today's episode, we are focusing on what we want to see in MLB The Show 22, going over news that we currently know, and really just going over the tech test. Now, this has been recorded day 3 of the tech test, so happy Saturday. Hopefully everything's going fine. Most of you might hear this on Sunday. That's going to be on me. That's going to be my bad. I'm sorry. But either way, MLB The Show 22, the tech test. What can we learn from it? Now, most of this is going to be pre-recorded. If not all of it is going to be pre-recorded from the tech test or clips from 21. But let's get into what we want to see. So first item on the list, right, should easily 100% be the schedule on which we should be seeing, really just MLB content in general. Going over kind of the stream schedule, going over really just everything. I guess that we could talk about. Because there is a lot to talk about, and we really just need to go over what we're looking at in terms of the stream schedule. Now, there's some concerning ones. Don't get me wrong. There's some good-looking ones, and there's some very concerning about the streams coming up over what is looking. Really just what the content schedule is looking like. So, I don't know. So, 2/24, February 24th, is the first Thursday stream that we're looking at. And it's going to be for the Nintendo Switch, which is huge. They're probably going to go over everything graphically wise, kind of how it's going to play. They're probably going to reiterate that you can't build a stadium on it. However, you're going to be able to cross progression. So, if I'm playing on my Xbox and I want to go on the road and I want to play on the Switch, I can do that. Everything's going to be cross saves, stuff like that. And hell, a lot of the goons, a lot of the good players are probably going to be on Switch trying to get those 12-0s in BR, which I don't blame them. There's a good chance I might be too. So the next big feature that we need to look at is going to be the March 3rd stream, which is going to be fielding, pitching, and hitting updates. We kind of see it in hitting. It looks like they're making an attempt to replicate real-life swings. During the tech test, you can see Mike Trout's swing is different. You can see Ohtani's is a little bit more refined. There's a lot of nitpicking that you can do with a lot of the players currently in the game and what's really going on. Another thing that I noticed while fielding, and a couple streamers have posted about this too, outfielding aggressiveness and awareness immediately off the bat looks to be extremely improved, which is great because depending on what level of fielder you have, whether you have a common, bronze, silver, gold, diamond, of course, will depend on your reaction time in the field. And what it's looked like is that they've streamlined that and made it easier. So if you have gold or diamond, it's an immediate jump and an immediate line to the ball, and it looks to be more aggressive. And of course, I've seen the common and the bronze animations of, oh, I see the ball, let me read where it's going, okay, now I'll run. The only thing that I've noticed is that play is at the wall, not in terms of catching, but like the ball hits the ground and then pops off the wall. Plays like that, it feels so slow. So slow. So there's that issue for me, and then there's a couple other fielding issues that I've seen, like when a ground ball is at the first and the pitcher is supposed to be covering, I've had it in 2 instances so far in me playing probably 10 games in the tech test, to where instead of the pitcher receiving the ball from the first baseman and just finishing the run through the bag to get the runner out, he'll stop in the baseline and try to tag the runner, which in turn makes the runner safe because the tag isn't applied in time. In a lot of online games that you're going to see, that's a big problem. The only other thing right now on the fielding side that I'm a little bit worried about is I've heard reports of freeze-off still being a thing, and at the moment, I haven't experienced any. However, I have seen evidence of where it could happen. I've seen foul balls get caught by fielders that weren't even there, and I get hitting gets priority when the pitcher's on the mound, and fielding gets priority when the ball's in play. I fully understand that, and I fully get it, but we need to look at the bigger picture here of you're having foul balls look like they're not even reachable by the fielders, and the fielder's stopping, and then you wait 5 seconds, and then you're immediately out. I've seen it to where a foul ball will go into the stands or something, and then it takes like 10, 15 seconds for the game to kick back in, like, oh, hey, we're still playing. So there is a lot of issues that, of course, it's not the final product. Of course, they're going to work out kinks, and I get that. It is a tech test to make sure if there is anything wrong, they fix it. I get it. And it's something that's good. I'm happy that they're doing it, and I'm happy they opened it up to everybody. The last thing I want to focus on right now with the new game updates and what we could see on March 3rd, the pitching is not in a good state. Now, I think I've been playing on All-Star. I haven't been playing on Hall of Fame. Pitch speeds seem faster. They seem more jumpy out of the hand. I've noticed that cutters have a lot more bite to them, which is good. Cutters and sliders, I've seen a significant amount of break on, especially the higher cards that were in 21. The main complaint that I keep hearing about is the fastball. And I've experienced it. I faced somebody that was pitching 102. It literally just goes from hand to glove. You have to swing so incredibly early and almost read it. And I mean, once you pick up on, this is when I need to swing, this is how fast I need to go, this is blank, 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 it works. You can catch up to it, you can live with it, it's fine. But it jumps off the bat, or jumps out of the hand, and it is, when I say quick, I mean quick. Like, and it's almost like you're playing on Hall of Fame or you're playing in Legend and we're on All-Star. So I don't know what they've done with the pitch speeds. I don't know if the fastball's just kind of bugged right now, because I'm hearing a lot of that in the community. So I would think so. But outside of that, I mean, everything seems to be okay and it's fine. The next 2 streams scare me for anybody that has been just begging for franchise. 310 commentary. That's all the stream we get. And I get there's probably going to be brand new things to it. There's going to be new modes, or not new modes, but I've already seen a couple new cinematics. They look great. And how the commentary's been, I'm hoping that they introduce something new to where it just kind of keeps rolling and everything gets better. However, I'm really worried about them just being like, here's the new presentation angles, here's the new score bug. Of course, they now have the Google Cast in it because they're the ones doing the home run stuff. In the StatCast this year, it's not AWS, it's Google Cast. So I get it, but man, am I extremely, extremely worried by everything else. So I'm just fully hoping that the game's kind of fixed, the game's going to be okay, and we won't have to worry about really anything. So another thing that we need to look at is, because, I mean, graphics really haven't looked different. Graphics seem the same, and I don't think we're going to get an overhaul. I think it was Scuffy said it best. We're not going to get a graphics overhaul until it's only on next gen. I don't see it at all. So there's that. And then the next one is March to October. And of course, presentation. So even then, the presentation is going to be different. March to October scares me because unless they're lumping in franchise with it, which the fact that they didn't say franchise and everybody has been complaining about, this is not what I want. This is what, this is what I want. This is who I need. I just don't see how we're going to sit here and be perfectly fine with, yes, this is who, this is who I want, this is who I need. You're sitting here looking at the simple fact that I've lost my train of thought. Okay, you're sitting here looking at the fact that everyone's complaining about a franchise, and they keep leaning into March to October, which a lot of people think that that's going to be what they're looking at for the new franchise. And we can say, yes, this is exactly what franchise needs to be. This is what we're hoping for. But franchise needs to be its own separate mode from March to October. I get the appeal for March to October. I get it. I loved it the first year it came out. It was new and innovative, but there is so much wrong with the single player aspect of this game outside of Diamond Dynasty that needs to be addressed. We're sitting here back in 2017. I just picked up MLB The Show for the first time, getting ready for my first full year with 18, learning the game, doing that. There has been significantly nothing changed about franchise. You can add your own stadiums, but you're still going to be playing in the same cities. You can add your own logos, but you're still going to be playing in the same cities. There is nothing dynamic about franchise right now, and March to October, I think, is trying to kind of bug the way into that, and all the changes that they're doing to March to October, I think they're wanting in franchise. However, you can't coincide the two if you're not going to add more customization and abilities to franchise. And I think that's where a lot of the player base is pissed, and I get it. I desperately get it. However, March to October, if it was a standalone mode and they made it different from franchise, but they have been upgrading franchise, March to October would be great. Now, the trades are a little bit funky, and roster customization and abilities are very limited still. But March to October can be a good mode if they put in the effort to completely overhaul franchise. Because March to October, I get the appeal. You don't have to play 162. You play key moments. You help people move up. You create trades to get you to the World Series. And the main goal is to win. And I get it. But we're not doing that. We're not building that mode. We're doing trades to where you're just dumping out your farm system. No team cares. If they have a losing record, they're giving you the best player. You just pick what position you want. Do you want a right fielder? Do you want a catcher? Do you want a third baseman? Do you want a new pitcher? Do you want a closer? You can have literally whatever option you want. You just pick the lowest thing, put up your blocks of these are the 4 players that I don't want to trade, and you just put up here's what I'm looking for, and you'll get those trades. I got Gallo and Story in a March to October this year without trading a big piece. Only prospects. How are you supposed to improve the game when you can't even have a realistic trade system? I mean, there's stories right now going around the league with people playing franchise to where they traded, I think it was Scan, but I could be 100% wrong. But either way, big creator in the community traded Salvador Perez on the Royals and somebody else to the Nationals, key franchise players, for Juan Soto. 15 games later, they release him on waivers. They release Salvador Perez on waivers. A top 2, top 3, some would, Royals fans say number 1 catcher in the game. And we're just going to let go of his contract. We're just gonna let him go. And it's like, what team decisions? Well, there's a yawn. But what team decisions are we making here? What is our main goal right now? We're just sitting here, looking at these horrible trades, looking at, these peanut-brained owners in this franchise. Like, it's not even realistic. You can create a whole new team in 2 days with some of these trades that are horrible. But you can still do it, because why not? It's something that needs to be improved, and if they didn't do anything with franchise this year, I kind of understand it with Switch, but the community has been very outpouring, and as a studio, as SDS is, that has listened to their fan base and done this and done that, where is this reach to help with franchise? Like, it's the one sore spot in your game right now. Diamond Dynasty can take a year off. I get it's your bread maker, and that's a whole different discussion on what needs to change with Diamond Dynasty, but you could take a year off, do the live content like you normally do. It's not that hard to come up with the ideas of the cards in a week. You just have to watch baseball. You just have to listen to baseball. Look at highlights. Look at the players of the week. Look at stats. The rollout of Diamond Dynasty content this year was great. All the free content that always comes out and all the stuff that we went over last episode is great. But when are we going to set aside assets to work on the biggest sore spot in your game? That there was a whole campaign that changed Madden franchise, that you're seeing other sports games do this. It's a big sore point, and it's something that you guys need to look at, and they need to fix, and they need to do. And it's not adding new ideas to the game. Stadium Creator was great. You had a guy working 6-7 years on it. Great. He's done. He's adding more to it, but the foundation's done. You already have a foundation for franchise. Just upgrade it. You put in custom stadiums, fantastic. Put in another menu to create more revenue. Let me upgrade cup holders. Let me be like Madden 08, Madden 09, Madden 12, that just sat here and was able to look at this and be like, okay, I have a level 1 bathroom. I have level 1 parking lot. I have a level 1 concessions. Let's upgrade concessions. Oh, I have pretzels now. That'll be great. Let me set the price of those and make a little bit more per game. My team's doing great. Fantastic. Let's up the prices on the top jerseys right now. Oh, my team sucks. Let's lower tickets and let's get more people in the seats to fill up the seats. You already have dynamic fans on the time of the year and how good the team is. Just implement that into pricing. I get you're going to have to write a lot of code, and this is talking from the outside in. I don't know. Easier said than done. But you can't tell me that none of these ideas are coming to fruition, which I get the game's not out yet. We haven't had news. Let's just wait. You're already dealing with a Randy Johnson scandal right now. I mean, where'd he go? Everyone wants to know. And you're not going to say anything. You're just going to pretend like that never happened. That's what SDS does. As much as they listen to their fan base, there is no communication outside of what they want you to see and what they want you to hear. Nothing like, hey, there's a contract issue. We'll talk about it later, or this isn't going to happen, or we hear your cries, No, there's nothing. The only time I think they've ever gone off script of this is the advertisements we want for the game, this is the content that we're going to put out, is when the servers were so bad last year. They were going down every night, and they had to put out a tweet saying, we know about the server issues, give us a bit to fix. We figured out the issue, we'll put it back up in an hour, and okay, the servers are back up. And no responses ever after that. It needs a change. 324, the next stream. Road to the Show and Ball Player. Road to the Show has been an ever-expanding mode of bullshit. Same with the Ball Player. And I get the appeal to the casual player. Let me put myself in the game. Let me play next to Trout. Let me play next to Tatis. Let me play next to the biggest stars in the game. Let me go to Diamond Dynasty. Let me put myself on this team. Let me make him cracked. Something that I wish I could do as a kid. Let me live it out in the video game. It's a great thing what they've done. They've beat the 2K player thing, or whatever it was, the creative player. They have taken it to a whole nother level with equipment, with evolving, with where you get boost with how good you connecting with the teammates, which really it's just playing and not making errors. They've done a great job so far. Last year broke everything with the exploits that you got, with everything else that happened with the ball player, with being able to make them two-way like Shotani. Great. Perfect. Executed like shit. When you have a ball player that is the best on the field until the end of the game cycle, we're talking about when 99s are coming out, when the best cards in the game, and there's nobody that beat them until that point, and a lot of people still use them. But when you have the best player on a team through the first 5 to 6 months of your game, nobody can beat him, and then you want to move him from the field to the mound, and then he gets even better because no one can hit the submarine curveball going at 71 and then the fastball going at 102. It is impossible for you to read that, especially from a submariner, and I don't know how to fix it. Ball player is a great idea. I'm happy they're introducing it in a ton of modes. It's always fun to think about, oh, we're going to play them in franchise. It's always fun to think about this option, this option, and this option. But we're not looking at the bigger picture. Oh, yeah, number 2. I'm tired. But we're not looking at the bigger picture of ball player. And it broke the game last year. It made ranked unplayable for a while on top of the servers and the freeze-offs and everything else that happened. The ball player was like the icing on the cake. You drove people away by the servers anyway because you couldn't even complete a game, or you couldn't even get through 3 innings without somebody being like, oh, I froze it. Ha. Good luck. Like, we're not doing anything at all. That's not okay. That's not helping us at all. That's blowing up the game. And it's just not helping the situation. I'm hoping they fix ball player this year, but from what it sounds like, it could just be worse. And the last one, of course, is the 331, the night before release. The Diamond Dynasty live content in esports drop. We should get anything new coming to Diamond Dynasty. We should get an update on Parallels. We should get an update on maybe a new card drop. We should get a ton of stuff. The live events is just probably going to be what we can do day 1. Of course, we're going to be there April 2nd for that podcast on what to grind when the game drops. Probably the most hype stream that really is any year, right before. We'll figure out what's in the first inning program before the game drops. It'll be a massive live stream to get everybody ready for release night if you have the MVP or the Digital Deluxe Edition. That'll really be the best stream. And yeah, so as I sit here and pretend like I have an ad to read, I'm going to take a drink of Mountain Dew. Not sponsored, just thirsty. Okay. Things we want to see in MLB The Show 22, outside of the live features, outside of all the new stuff. What do we want to see? We already got a huge thing with the co-op gameplay, being able to play 2-on-2 against your friends, 3-on-3 with your friends versus other people. I haven't personally tested it out yet. But with what it looks like, it's interesting. It's very interesting. It's not going to take the place of like how Madden did it. If you don't know anything about the co-op mode, so basically what it is it's either a 2v2 or 3v3. If it's a 2v2, when you're on defense, one person controls the field, the other person controls the pitcher and the catcher. If it's a 3v3 and you're in the field, one person will control the pitcher, one person controls the infield, and then one person controls the outfield. every inning that rotates. I think the pitcher goes to the outfield, and then everything just follows that chain. Outfield goes infield, infield goes pitcher. If it's a 2v2, self-explanatory. You just flip-flop from pitcher to outfield and infield, I guess. Whatever. You just go field. You don't pitch anymore. The other thing that I have seen that's interesting from it is when you're playing those 3v3 games, you're able to voice chat in the game, which I haven't been able to get to work, and I have, like I said, I haven't experimented with a lot. I've maybe played one game of it, and that was really all the time I had for it. I was testing out more BR stuff, more event stuff, and just kind of feeling out how the game looks, which I'm not gonna lie, opening packs is fantastic. I love what they did with the new card art, and if you haven't seen it, I'm gonna go ahead and open one up right now. So let's just go ahead. Let's go ahead and just buy a normal pack. Let's just buy the normal one. We'll go ahead and open it. I got 75 of them. Didn't need to do that, but let's go ahead and open it. Look at that new animation. And then, of course, you got the new Diamond Dynasty logos. And, I mean, these cards look amazing. I think the coolest one I've seen, I mean, they've already changed Max Scherzer, Mad Max. They've already changed his. And, I mean, the cool stuff is, I mean, some of these diamond cards, too. And I get, these are some of the older cards, so none of these attributes. You know, you got Mookie, you got Gossage. This Robbie Ray Diamond, I don't know if they're going to do anything in the background for the diamonds, which I think from what we saw, it's just going to be that Diamond Dynasty logo you saw in the normal pack with the DD next to each other, but of course it's going to be all the way through the back of the card. I think we saw it with Byron Buxton. But of course we didn't get to fully see it because they don't have those cards in it yet. And of course, like I said, it's not the final product. We're not going to see everything, but some of these cards from the top set look amazing this year. And it's a set that I can't wait to collect and then fully get. I mean, look at the Salvador Perez card. That is an intense card from Topps. The fun part is, like, I don't think, is Mad Bum still on the Diamondbacks? Because he's one, unless he signed a new deal, he's not with Topps. Yeah, you can see the cards a little bit different. So, like, you see, like, this Nick Ahmed card, you see the baseball in the bottom right, you see the silver plating, you see how it has Topps in the corner. You don't have that with Bumgarner because he doesn't have the deal with Topps. So they found a way to kind of make it a little bit the same, but not a ton. So some of these cards are great. I really like a lot of the cards that are coming out. I'm really looking forward to seeing kind of how co-op gets used. I haven't fully understood the roster part yet. And, to go over hitting, because I think I forgot hitting. You just switch off every at-bat. You just go 1, 2, 3. And there's a ton of stuff with, like, captains, which we'll probably go into next episode. It's just going over what we know about the new features, reacting to the stream coming up on Thursday, talking about the Switch and figuring out what's going on with everything, and maybe we might get a tease on what happened with Randy. Maybe. Now, with that, though, another thing we are getting is the fun news that we are getting even more Legends. And you might be saying, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by getting more Legends? Well, if you look at the Digital Deluxe Edition, you get a cover star diamond choice pack, meaning that we're going to get Justin Upton, the newer legend in the game. You're going to get a ton of, like, the other things, but another one that just got announced is Joe Mauer, which, an old legend, and I'm excited for Joe Mauer. And I never got to use his cards in the older version, but growing up watching him a ton, and then all of the other old content creators that have used this card and remember him, they are excited for Mauer and Justin Morneau. Justin Morneau, too. So between Ryan Howard and Joe Mauer, those are two big names already coming back, and we're not even close to, like, big reveals yet. I don't quite know what's going on with the Randy Johnson situation, though. Of course, he was in the trailer, and then he was just erased everywhere. So, no idea. No idea what's happening with it. But, what can we do? What can we do? I'm hoping we get a couple of old legends, too. Like, I'd love to see Manny Ramirez come back. I'd love to see Bo Jackson get in. Being a Royals fan and then knowing the utility of his cards, it'd be a massive one. I've been waiting. Not a lot of people have mentioned Bo Jackson at all. I don't know why. One of the best players and one of the few players to do both sports and to be good at it. So, who knows? Who knows? We might get Bo. Only Bo knows. Who knows? We're gonna get more though, because if they're already releasing big cards like Justin Morneau, Joe Mauer, Ryan Howard, which I get the Ryan Howard was the kind of like cover reveal as well, because that helps solidify that it's not probably just gonna be like it was, I think, in 20, to where you got like Baez, you got Judge, and you got like another one, or it might have been 20. I think it was 20, to where they had the cover athlete ones, but it was all like gold, and it was just current players. This one could be huge. This one could be the one that not breaks the game, but could break a massive hole in early game content to strive for. So we're really excited about that. Now, what else, you may ask? We're 30 minutes in. What else could we want in 22? Honestly, I mean, I think we covered all of it. We covered the streams. We covered everything else. I do have one tidbit, which I will share until I die. Stadiums. Stadiums are massive early game. Everybody wants them. Everybody wants to collect them. Everybody wants to have all of them. Let's look. I want to take you guys on a trip. So I'm going to go do it now. I'm going to take you guys on a trip. Let's go look at quickly. I'm not going to do it too long. It'll probably be the last topic for today's episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys stayed with me. But let's go through a big part of this final topic that I want to touch on that I would love to see added, and I think a lot of people would as well. And it'd be a new category to stadiums. Completely new. And I would love it. And you can't tell me that they can't do it, because they can. And they know they can. Take a little bit. But they can do it. So let's look at collections in Diamond Dynasty. Let's go look at two big factors of these collections. So if we go to stadiums, we have the classic stadiums, which are diamond. You have the MLB stadiums, which are silver, and you have the minor league stadiums, which are bronze. Okay? So within those, let's look at uniforms. You have the throwbacks that are diamond. You have the alternates that are diamond. You have the road that are gold. And you have AAA that's silver. Let's go even further. Let's go to equipment. Let's go to back grips. You got diamond. You got gold. You got silver. You want to go here. You got silver. That's not a good example. Go to eyewear. You got diamond. You got gold. You got silver. Now, is there any bronze? No. But either way, look at this. My ball player batting perks. You got diamond, you got gold, you got silver, and you got bronze. What are we missing? We are missing a gold tier stadium list. Let it be a throwback. Add old stadiums into the game. And I'm not talking about the classics. I'm not talking about Chive. I'm not talking about Forbes. I'm not talking about Sportsman. Do it kind of like what you did with old Yankee Stadium or old Texas or old Atlanta. But the difference is all of those, from Shea Stadium to old Atlanta to old Texas to Yankee Stadium, right, are old stadiums. Those got built down and rebuilt, just like St. Louis's did. You got rebuilt, moved, switched, whatever. It's different. I want to change that. Kauffman Stadium is a big example of what I want to talk about, and there's a couple other examples as well. Another big one that's also recent is Minute Maid. So let's look at Minute Maid, and let's look at Kauffman for a second. When you look back at the old games, from the Royals, I think was 07, 08. You had no seats in center field, no seats in left field, no seats in right. Everything was in foul ground, was pretty much where all of the seats were. You had the bullpens sticking straight out from the fence, not side to side like they are now. And you have the fountains, once again with no seats, where if you look in left field where those stands are, and there's that little circle by that number 4, that used to be a colored screen for Kauffman, and then the center field screen where that huge monument of a Jumbotron is, with the crown on top, used to just be a light bulb type screen. It didn't have color. It had the same orange tint that you could see during the day, or you could see bright as hell at night. Bring that stadium back in. Make that a gold tier. Make it a remodel. Make it, I don't know what you would call it. Maybe not a classic, but a restructure or the remodeled or something. Make it fun. Make it interesting. Make it old. Make it just what it needs to be. A gold tier. It's not live, but it's a remodeled of this. Same thing with Minute Maid. Minute Maid center field changed drastically when they got rid of, I think it's Tills Hill. When they got rid of the massive pole in center field, which was stupid design in an MLB park nonetheless, but when they got rid of the pole in center field, when they got rid of the hill, why not add that back in? You have the assets. It's in the old games. You've been making these forever. You update the graphics. You have the same level of play. And with created stadiums, you can't tell me that there's not funky stadiums anyway. Give me remodeled stadiums. I mean, why not? I mean, a big note this year, which we haven't figured out yet, is Royal Park. They just went a huge renovation to change left field. Huge. Massive. Everyone that plays the show should know this because that's the first default stadium everybody picks. They're moving that left field stands back to basically the first half of that bullpen. That's massive. Massive. Oh. I need to end this soon. I keep yawning. But that's massive upgrade. I mean, it could change it from a hitter spark to a pitcher spark just in that upgrade. Just in that small upgrade. And I mean, it's easy. You just reskin this park that you have. Bada bing, bada boom. Now you have two. You have the old one that everybody used, if you like the old one better, or if you wanted the classic feel again, or you have the new one that's going to protect left center. Are you going to get a lot of games on it? No. But there's a lot of cards that you put in that you know are dead from the jump. So you can't tell me that you're not going to put stuff in here that no one's going to use because you already put stuff in here that no one's going to use. Bad argument. What's one more good example that I can think of? I don't think Coors ever had a massive remodel. Dodger Stadium right there. Bring back the old center field. Bring back the speakers in center. Bring back the non-little LA pit that's in center now. Bring back the old ugly bleachers. Like, it's not that hard. Like, or bring back Busch. I mean, I know Busch got rebuilt, but I mean, bring back the old stadium of that. It was a little bit different. The design on the back was completely different. I mean, it's easy to do that. Or with Wrigley, get rid of the top fencing. Go back to just having the old scoreboard. I mean, there's so many options to do with this. Look at Lone Depot Park, Miami. Either way, scratch that. Doesn't matter. Make that green again. Make that ugly shade of green with the water feature. You have it in. They just did this last year. You already have it in the game. You already have it coded. You just have to import it. Just do that. I mean, that's what? One? Because how many stadiums is that? Let's, I think Petco maybe got a little bit of change, but for sure, let's do LA. That's 1. Miami, that's 2. Minute Maid, that's 3. Kauffman, that's 4. And Oracle, that's 5. That's 5 out of 30. And I guarantee you there's something a little bit major that you can add to all of it. Boston, I don't think it's changed. Tropicana might have changed a little bit, but not really. Comerica, I don't think has changed. I think Comerica is exactly the same. Same with Guaranteed. Part of me wants to say Progressive changed a little bit, but I don't think so. I think Progressive has been the same. Same with Anaheim. Oakland just needs to die and get a new stadium. I mean, you have Target Field, but this one hasn't changed since they remodeled it, and the old Metrodome is in there. So that's not it. The old Texas Stadium is in there, so that wouldn't be it. I don't know about T-Mobile either. I think theirs have been the same for a while. Same with Truist. I think that's a newer part. Citizens Bank, I don't think anything's changed with Phillies. Nothing's changed with the Mets. I think Washington has a little bit of something new. I doubt that that's been their stadium. I'm pretty sure that's changed. Maybe not, though. I could just be misremembering. But, I mean, you got 5 stadiums, and that's with me barely knowing a lot of the parks in here, like, knowledge. Like, I mean, all it takes is a wall to move or a whole design of it to change, and it's not a new park like we see with the classics. I mean, you're not looking at the Metrodome for the Twins. You're not looking at old Miami. You know, you're not looking at old Yankee Stadium, old Texas, old Atlanta, old Shea. You're not looking at any of that. So, just add gold stadiums. Make it fun. Add more cards, more playability, or make it to where we can customize all of the stadiums that we want. Thank you for my TED Talk. Either way, thank you guys so much for listening to the podcast. Links in the socials I don't have ready yet. Social media links are kind of iffy right now with what I want to promote as the channel and what I think I'm just going to delete or leave personal. As of now, there's going to be no videos on TikTok, but on TikTok. I do have one. It's at JoeCool1616. Same as the channel. I'm on Twitter at JoeCool1629. I'm trying to get 16 from a guy that whatever, but either way, right now it's 1629. Go follow me there. You won't get a lot of updates on there yet. I'm working tremendous hours right now, and it's only going to get worse, but I'm trying to manage this to make it better. Either way, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for checking out the channel. If you made it to the end of the podcast, thank you. And I'm trying to get it approved on Spotify, trying to get it approved on Apple. We're working on it actively, and hopefully within the next couple weeks I'll be on there as well, so you can listen to me on the go. Rant, ramble, really no edit, and have fun, and probably become audio only once I hit those platforms, because editing these just kind of takes a little bit, and I just kind of want to get the content out to you guys. But either way, thanks for listening. Thanks for coming by. It was your boy Joe, and we'll see you next episode.